From the most overpowered hidden weapon to giving yourself infinite health, these are facts only the best 0.1% of Minecraft players know. We all know the trident is the most useless weapon in the entire game, but they actually have a secret use only pro players know. If you charge up a riptide trident underwater with a sword in your hand, you'll turn into a supercharged torpedo that can kill almost any sea creature. And if you've got an elytra, try taking to the skies while it's raining and using the same trick to literally become a missile that destroys any mobs above ground too. Gas tiers can be super annoying to collect. I don't think I've ever fought a gas that wasn't over a giant lava pit. That's why the best players bring a fishing rod to the nether that they can use to pull mobs back over dry land to take out with a sword. This doesn't just work for gas either. You can stop these pesky blazes from getting away, and it even lets you get sick kills on piglins. That'll teach him for stealing my gold. Enchanting can be really annoying when the bottom slot just shows up with unbreaking or an enchant you just don't want. But you can fix it with a wooden shovel. Turns out it's true. If you enchant any useless tool at level 1, it'll re-roll the entire set of enchants, letting you make the perfect set of gear. One of the most common items you can get in ruined portal chests are these seemingly useless fortune gold pickaxes. This thing will break after like 3 iron ore. What's the point? Well, if you're in the smartest 0.5%, you'll know that pickaxes don't break when destroying crops, so you can use the fortune enchant to get extra resources from your farm for free. How many times have you tried leaving an animal pen just for all of the mobs to follow you out and escape through the gate? Well, I have a fix! You can use an L-shaped layout like this, a wall block or a carpet to create exits that only the player can use. The best part is that it means I don't have to remember how to craft those stupid fence gates! Spyglasses aren't that useful on their own, but if you use Optifine, you can use that as well to get a super zoom! Hitting F1 will remove that annoying overlay too. Ever wanted to learn how to become invincible in Minecraft without armor? If you eat a god apple and then a regular golden apple straight after, you'll keep some of the absorption even after the effect wears off. This means you can repeat this as much as you want to gain literally hundreds of hearts. It doesn't come cheap, but come on, only the top 0.1% smartest people know this. You're rich anyway! You know how you need 2 water buckets to create an infinite water source? Well, you know nothing! Sorry, that was me. But seriously, you only need 1 now as long as you have either kelp or a cauldron. Using this setup, you can place kelp here to magically create 2 new sources, and you can use water bottles to fill a cauldron and conjure another bucket full. Setting up a farm for food can be super difficult early game, but there's a hidden cheat code only 1% of people know. If you're brave enough to challenge the nether and make a run to a soul sand valley, you can farm the fossils for tons of bone meal you can bring back with you for a head start on all your farming needs. Silverfish don't seem that dangerous at first, but it's not uncommon to find yourself in a stronghold severely outnumbered in just a few seconds. But silverfish only spawn when a player deals damage to them, meaning you can just use lava or a flint and steel to totally avoid spawning them. Avocas are a super powerful mob despite never hitting you themselves, but you can actually predict what spell they're gonna cast next. If he sends out white particles, it means he's spawning vexes, and you can run and get some hits in. But if they're grey, it means he's summoning fangs, and you should probably run! And before you head through the portal, make sure you bring some TNT, as you can use it to farm ender pearls really easily. Simply build a pillar above a small pit like this, and stare at as many endermen as possible. Once you've trapped enough, place the TNT down and light it for near infinite pearls. You can even hold a looting sword while the TNT explodes to get even more. But what if you're like me, you struggle to even find the stronghold? Speedrunners have a solution. Once you're fairly sure you're nearby, try throwing just a single eye and placing a line of blocks until you think you've run past it. Then head to the side of a line and throw another eye. Follow the path until you hit the blocks from before, mine down, and you'll be right where the stronghold is. You know those huge annoying trees you sometimes get from oak saplings? If you place a single block 7 blocks above the sapling, they'll never grow again. You can also use this setup to only get the big ones if you're a psychopath. Speedrunners even have ways to make nether portals instantly without diamonds. Find a lava pool like this, then place a block here with water next to it. Break that and place blocks exactly like this on the side of the pool. Place water right here and place lava in the formation of a portal around the side. Remove the water and you've got an instant nether portal with just a single bucket. There's also a way to do it in an underwater ravine, but I'll leave that one to the pros. It's not because I can't do it, okay? Wither skeletons are one of the most annoying mobs to farm in Minecraft. They don't even spawn half the time. But if you're in single player, try lowering your render distance and simulation distance to 5 chunks. This will force all mobs to spawn where you can see them, letting you find farm skulls way easier. Once you're ready to fight the wither, whatever you do, don't spawn it above ground. Trust me, I learned the hard way. Instead, dig a 40-block long tunnel underground and spawn it in a chamber at the end. If you stay at a safe distance, you'll be able to take it down super easily without getting hit once. Well, good players will. Cakes aren't really the best food source, but they do work as a great decoration. But did you know they're even better now with the addition of candles? Now you can place a candle on top of the cake to add just a little bit extra color to the room. For redstoners, slimes are super valuable, but they can be so hard to find. Swamp swamps are usually the best place to look for them, but sometimes you'll go just to be met with nothing. Well, it turns out that's because slime spawns in swamps are actually based on the moon. So if the swamp is dry, try waiting a few nights until it's full, and the swamp will be covered in the things. It can be really hard to find exactly where the buried treasure is once you're nearby. The map isn't really clear, but if you think you know the general area, hit F3 and make these two numbers say 9 by moving to the right block. Dig down and voila! 7 fish and an emerald. Great. The best way to move villagers isn't to use minecarts or boats. It's actually just to use a bell. Villagers will all flock to a bed whenever a bell is rung. So if you remove all nearby beds and place just one wherever you want them to head to, they'll go straight there as soon as the bell is rung. Clever, isn't it? What's even smarter is this invisible elevator that uses wind. Crazy, right? You didn't see that. Okay, fine, it's not a wind elevator, but it's still really cool. If you place a bubble stream in a corner behind 2 honey blocks and then maps in item frames on the honey blocks, you'll create a hidden elevator that really does look like magic. Sometimes you just need a ton of filler blocks for a project. So what's the fastest block to farm in bulk? Well, you can obviously build gigantic wood, cobblestone, or moss farms. But if you just want something simple, try trapping a snowman and using stone shovels to instantly obtain hundreds of snow blocks you can use for whatever your heart desires. If you've ever built an enderman farm, you know it can be pretty tiring to constantly click on enderman to get XP. But did you know that splash water bottles actually hurt enderman? That means if you get them low with full damage, you can just chuck one every so often to gain tons of XP and infinite satisfaction. I could literally do this for hours. Speaking of splash potions, have you ever noticed that you don't get quite as much effect time as the potion says? Well, that's probably because you're throwing them at the ground or a wall. If you throw them straight up so they land on your head, you'll get the full advertised time. Since the addition of deep slate and all the new caves, strip mining has pretty much become a thing of the past. But it can still be pretty hard to find caves. Thankfully, there's a few ways to make it way easier. Firstly, this number on the F3 screen shows you exactly how many air blocks are ahead of you, meaning the higher this number is, the more likely it is there's a cave in that direction. And to make it easier to find exactly where it is, try turning on subtitles. Not only will it make it easier to see which sounds are being played, but it'll even give you arrows pointing in the direction they're coming from. Raiding in cities can get pretty dangerous very quickly if you find yourself floating high above the ground, and that's why the best players know to always carry chorus fruit. If you find yourself in this perilous position, eating one will instantly teleport you down to the ground safely. Just make sure you still got the levitation effects. It doesn't go well otherwise. Sometimes a regular fuse of a TNT just isn't long enough to get you to safety. So if that's the case, try crouching and setting the block on fire instead. Instead of instantly lighting, it'll burn for a bit before lighting. Trust me, this isn't a troll. Trust me. I'll never do anything like that. Anyway, did you know trains actually exist in Minecraft? And I'm not talking about minecarts. Well, technically they're called caravans, but if you attach a lead to just one llama, all nearby llamas will quickly run into formation and start following you around. With enough patience, you can breed llamas to have 15 slots of storage space, meaning you can carry around 150 shulkers worth of items with just a single lead. And when you're done with these llamas, if you attach the least one to a fence and then dispatch it, it'll lead the lead on the fence, giving you an extra bit of detail to decorate with. No matter how many are nearby or how close they're watching you, if you one-shot a zombified piglin using something like a Smite 5 sword, other piglins won't get mad at you. Just make sure you don't have sweeping edge on too. Walls don't have much of a use other than, being walls. And to be fair, nobody even really uses them for that either. Either way, they actually have a use in redstone. With a setup like this, you can place a single wall right here to instantly send a signal hundreds of blocks down. I know that doesn't sound that insane, but I know like 1% of you guys are freaking out right now. Mobs in Minecraft have gotten pretty good at pathfinding, but there's still one thing they can't seem to understand, and that's Minecart Rails. For whatever reason, if you surround yourself in tracks, zombies just don't know what to do and will freeze on the spot. The same goes for spiders, vindicators, iron golems, and even Wait! Subscribe!